This film begins by showing a young boy named Finn, who is quietly occupied playing a video game console. His parents are about to leave for a short while. At home, Finn has two sisters. He is the only boy in the household. When his parents depart, something seemingly unusual and intense approaches from outside. Suddenly, the electricity in the house goes out. Finn initially suspects that this is his sister's doing. Then the home's security cameras display that every gate on the premises opens on its own. Finn steps outside briefly to retrieve one of his toys. As he returns, Finn hears something in the room belonging to his sister Anna. It sounds as though a struggle is taking place there. When the door swings open, Anna emerges with her mouth showing signs of injury, holding a small object that reflects light. Finn is startled to see that Anna appears to have harmed herself. Anna then urges Finn to open his mouth, as if intending to remove something from inside. Suddenly, a distraction occurs, drawing Anna's attention elsewhere. Finn quietly takes the object from Anna. Anna mentions that it is here and will catch them, causing both Anna and Finn to hurry away. They quickly move to get into a car. Outside, a figure with a strange presence, similar to some kind of supernatural entity, appears. They quickly start the car and drive a considerable distance. However, as they cross a bridge, the vehicle unexpectedly stalls. Anna, for reasons unknown, then attempts to find safety at the riverbank, urging Finn to join her. It appears Anna intends to do something harmful to herself and also involve Finn. But Finn clings firmly to avoid this. When Anna tries to pull him, Finn's foot inadvertently makes contact with her head, causing Anna to lose her balance and fall. Before long, help arrives, as do Finn's parents, who have just returned. The emergency responders recover Anna's form, now no longer showing any signs of life. Approaching his sister, Finn is deeply unsettled. He cries out in fear, and this experience leaves him with lingering worries into his adolescence. As Finn grows older, he regularly undergoes treatment sessions. His family has a long-time personal physician, here referred to as Dr. Steinke. Whenever Finn recounts what he saw that night, Dr. Steinke dismisses it as mere hallucinations. Finn then undergoes a fitness test. Later, his mother receives reports on his condition. Dr. Steinke provides Finn with a special yellow capsule, suggesting it will be beneficial for his recovery. Finn soon reunites with his twin sister Sophie. She also appears to be undergoing similar treatments. At school, Sophie has a friend she cares about named Raman. While attending classes, Finn notices a young woman who captures his interest. Her name is Samira. When Samira greets someone behind Finn, he initially believes she is addressing him, but she is actually greeting Lena, who stands behind him. Lena is Finn's good friend and knows about his feelings for Samira. Lena encourages Finn to act quickly if he doesn't want to be disappointed. Soon, a friend named Leander approaches them and extends an invitation to a party that evening. During class, Finn listens attentively to the lesson, while Lena, seated beside him, borrows Finn's phone and uses it to contact Samira, stating that Finn would like to talk to her at the party. When Samira turns and smiles, Finn smiles back. Time passes, and Finn and Lena arrive at the party, which takes place in an empty house. The celebration is lively, but Finn feels somewhat uncomfortable. He sees Samira from afar but still does not have the courage to approach. Leander then appears and offers Finn something unusual, some sort of pill. Finn consumes it, and suddenly he experiences a series of unsettling mental images. He recalls his past trauma, feels as though he is holding something with red stains, and sees visions of the past event at the river. Everyone around him appears distorted. Overwhelmed, Finn loses consciousness. The next scene shows Finn at home, where both parents remind him to inform them before going out at night. Later, Finn uses his father's car to visit the hospital, where his grandfather is scheduled for surgery. His grandfather once served as a spiritual figure, assisting individuals believed to be influenced by negative entities. After conversing, Finn departs and walks down a quiet, dimly lit hospital corridor. He senses that someone might be following him. When he reaches a certain room, he sees an older patient whose appearance makes him uneasy. Leaving that space, Finn goes to the riverbank to calm himself. Back at home, Finn consumes the medication given by Dr. Steinke and then tries to sleep. In the middle of the night, he is awakened by a whispering sound. Finn ventures out and witnesses something highly unusual. He peers from outside and sees Sophie lying down, seemingly not aware of her surroundings, while an elderly woman with white hair appears to be trying to influence Sophie's condition. Finn again hears something and becomes convinced that he and his family are under some sort of threat. Taking an axe as a precaution, he moves in front of them all. Sophie objects to his drastic approach, and suddenly Finn feels as if he is being restrained by an unseen force. His parents bring him inside and listen to his story, but they do not believe what he says. The next morning, Finn hears strange sounds from Sophie's room and fears something terrible has happened, only to find Sophie simply changing her clothes in the wardrobe. His mother appears and asks Finn to step out. At school, Finn shares his strange experiences with Lena, but she remains unconvinced. Meanwhile, Sophie and Raman have a disagreement. During a physical education class, Sophie suddenly experiences a nosebleed and loses consciousness. At home, Finn observes something unusual. Sophie's cup appears to move closer to her on its own. Later, Raman arrives wanting to meet Sophie, but Sophie refuses, and Finn's mother politely asks Raman to leave. That evening, Finn is in Sophie's room, intends to look after her, bringing a baseball bat for security. Finn, while checking beneath the bed frame, senses a presence. He sits down and hears something again. Suddenly, Sophie is also awake, making the atmosphere tense. Sophie considers Finn's behavior excessive, but he insists he is only worried about her well-being. Soon, Finn returns to his room. He receives a message from Raman, asking him to meet at a nearby eatery. Raman is already there waiting. Finn takes his bicycle and heads to the meeting place. While waiting, Raman sees an older individual who winks at him. Suddenly, someone calls Raman from outside. Raman steps into a car cleaning area, where that same older individual lies down, appearing to need help. When Raman tries to assist, he is unexpectedly flung aside. The older individual now seems driven by some other force and presses against Raman, causing him to lose consciousness. When Finn arrives at the eatery, Raman is not present. Finn calls Raman's phone and hears its ringtone coming from the exterior area. Finn heads to the car cleaning bay and finds Raman no longer responsive. Finn also glimpses a shadowy presence behind him. Police officers soon appear, along with Finn's father. Finn is convinced that Ramin's current condition is not self-inflicted. Yet when Finn checks Ramin's phone, all messages and call logs have mysteriously vanished. His father believes Finn's psychological state may be deteriorating. Finn remains adamant that Ramin did not harm himself. They speak with an inspector who explains that aside from the staff, only 3 individuals were present. Raman, an older woman considered unlikely to cause harm, and Finn himself. The inspector begins to suspect Finn. Finn's father instructs him to place his bicycle down and negotiates with the inspector. At home, Sophie expresses regret about Raman's sudden passing. Finn is also disturbed by the unusual events he has been experiencing. Entering his room again, Finn examines the yellow pills and discovers something inside that resembles a fungal growth rather than a harmless substance. The next morning at school, everyone mourns Raman's departure. Finn and Lena bring the fungal specimen to the school laboratory. It is not a simple larva. It appears to be a type of fungus known to grow on lifeless matter. Finn is given an address of a knowledgeable individual who is familiar with this kind of fungus. Lena investigates and learns that this fungus was historically used by certain practitioners to supposedly open gateways to other realms. Suddenly, Samira arrives and mentions that she too has taken medication identical to Finn's. Now Finn and Samira plan to study together that evening. Finn and Lena then visit the address they received. There they meet a woman named Alysa and her son. Alysa is startled to learn that Finn consumes these pills daily. She holds Finn's hand, gazes into his eyes, and Finn suddenly expels the strange fungus from his mouth. Alysa explains that there are negative forces at work that may threaten Finn's family. She wants to see his sister and help, but Finn cannot comply at the moment, as he must go to the hospital where his grandfather is undergoing surgery. Finn's grandfather believes in the possibility of everlasting life. During the operation, the lights go out and the doors open. Finn steps into a very bright room and sees his grandfather on the operating table. Strange events unfold, as if dark shapes emerge from his grandfather's body. Finn tries to warn them, and even injures his own hand in the process. He is asked to leave. Eventually, the surgery is completed without apparent complications. Returning home, Finn finds Samira already there, keeping their scheduled study time. Finn's parents are about to head to the hospital. Finn attempts to send Samira away for her safety, but Lena arrives from the side, and then Alysa and her son also show up. Alysa lights an oil lamp and proceeds to Sophie's room. She places a protective charm beside Sophie and performs a ritual assisted by certain devices. Alysa instructs everyone to remain quiet and avoid looking at what she summons. Using Finn's yellow pills as a link, Alysa begins. Her son activates a recording device to capture responses. A presence answers. Alysa requests it to reveal itself. Suddenly, the device malfunctions, and an unidentified presence appears. When this presence challenges Alysa, everyone feels alarmed. At that moment, Finn's parents return, and everyone quickly leaves the house. Finn departs together with Lena and Samira. The three spend the night in a vacant home. After that, they attempt to locate Alysa again, but discover she has moved away. They decide to go to their school, hoping to apologize and resolve matters. As Finn receives a call from his mother, Leander suddenly appears, holding the same kind of fungus. Leander is shown atop a building, causes harm to himself, and then falls from the height. An ambulance promptly arrives, and Lena discovers that the pills are exactly like Finn's. Finn and Samira enter the ambulance while Lena searches for information about the medication's origins. Lena attends the launch event for this medication. There, Finn's parents are present and appear to be connected to the medicine's development. Lena steps out and inspects an area, discovering that the woman who confronted Raman is also there. Meanwhile, at the hospital, Finn and Samira check files in Leander's belongings. It is revealed that Finn, Samira, and others, including Sophie, are adopted children. In fact, all of Finn's siblings are adopted. As Lena infiltrates a room filled with those who are no longer responsive, she finds that Alysa has also met the end of her journey and lies there. A staff member enters and extracts the fungus from these unmoving forms. Frightened, Lena rushes out. Back at the hospital, Leander's father appears. But Leander's condition cannot be improved. Finn and Samira now approach Finn's grandfather, only to find that he too has ceased to show signs of life. As Finn comes close, a doctor unexpectedly administers a sedative, causing Finn to lose consciousness. Soon, Finn and Samira awaken tied up at Finn's own home. Dr. Steinke takes Finn into a secret room decorated with many depictions of unusual beings. The entire family gathers. Finn's mother explains that his body will be claimed by someone very special, his grandfather, who will inhabit Finn's body. A ritual is set to begin. Finn's mouth is forced open, and a small incision is made. Meanwhile, electrical stimulation is applied to his grandfather's form, prompting it to reawaken. Lena arrives and frees Samira. Together, they attempt to halt the procedure. A dark shape emerges, seemingly from their mouths, as the grandfather's essence tries to enter Finn. At this critical moment, Lena intervenes by using a flammable substance. She helps Finn escape. A doctor tries to stop Lena, but Finn picks up a sharp instrument from nearby and manages to impede the doctor's efforts. They leave the room, and suddenly Lena is lifted by an unseen force. The home then experiences a violent explosion. Samira arrives with a vehicle. As they attempt to leave, Sophie, now affected by severe burns, tries to stop them. Finn, feeling deeply shaken, continues onward, and Sophie is unable to prevent their departure. With that, the three set off to find a new beginning elsewhere. While they drive, the vehicle unexpectedly becomes difficult to control, as if an unseen presence is within it. They nearly end up near the river again. Despite everything, Finn, Lena, and Samira remain determined to face whatever lies ahead. However, it appears that Samira may now be under the influence of the same presence they have struggled against. The film concludes with their uncertain fate still unfolding. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. Because by subscribing, you have supported me to make better videos. See you in the next video.